Hello, everyone. Welcome once again. Today, we're going to talk about South Texas investment opportunities. My name is Seewing Yee from the Yee Real Estate Network. Introduce our team partner down in South Texas, Miss Janet Clement. How are you, Janet?
Doing great. Thank you, Seewing. Glad to be here.
Likewise. So, great investment opportunities. Janet will give us an update of what's going on in our South Texas investment opportunities for our network members and others. And before we go any further, let me give you some what's transpired the past few months. There are several of our members who have purchased per quads, brand new fourplex in the market in the past few months, and they have some good experience. Perhaps before you share your experience with them, you have the first several buyers who closed escrow. They are very happy with the purchase. They have a very good experience. All the quads has been rented very quickly. And they're extremely impressed. It has exceeded their expectation. And currently, we have another buyer who is under contract and escrow to close on this amazing high quality quads fourplex, brand new. And several other investors are standing by in the next few weeks about to pull the trigger. There's a reason why our investors are attracted to this market. Janet is here to talk about it. Janet, before you go over the slideshow, can you briefly share the unique experience that several of my buyers were able to achieve in the past few months?
Yes, what a privilege. The buyers that you send are so educated and professional, and I give you a lot of kudos for that. I know they could get online and do the research, but you and I know how tough that is. So you have so well informed them, and then it's my privilege to give them more information on all of South Texas. So we have gotten them in a community in Alamo, and they're working with their clothes, they're rented or getting rented, working with our property management team. And I've gotten to meet the builder, and I've gotten to meet a few of them. It's been quite a pleasure. I've talked to more that are planning for the future, which is just fine. If you want to call and see we can send you my way and you just want to plan for a few months from now, feel free to do that. You don't have to be buying right away. It's all about helping you meet your goals and succeed, just like Seewing does.
Yeah, Janet, with several of my investors, they actually traveled to the area, met with you and your team. So they did some very good due diligence and they are very impressed the market. They're seeing with their own eyes. They've met the property managers. They have met the builders. They ask very thorough questions. They feel comfortable with their due diligence and research and meeting your team on the ground physically, being there. They took a 1 to 2 day tour in your market. So it just validated what they believe that your market is very robust moving forward. So without further ado, Janet, thank you for taking the time to do this presentation. I know you're very busy selling your properties for out-of-state investors from all over the country, not just from California, where our investors are located. And you provide great value, great client service, great team of property managers and everybody else on the ground to ensure that the long-term perspective of our investors, knowing that their asset will perform for many years to come. So without further ado, you have an update for us about a sub-market within South Texas. Download your slide deck and share with the rest of the audience some amazing growth projections in the market.
I will do that. I encourage them, if they haven't watched the one about Hidalgo County and South Texas, to do that, where we went over countywide and beyond all the corporations and jobs and commerce. But today we're going to specialize on Edinburg, which is the county seat. It is the gateway. Edinburg is not the biggest city. McAllen is, but Edinburg is definitely the heart of the Rio Grande Valley. Serves as a gateway to South Texas. It's anchored by the University of Texas, Rio Grande. And Edinburg, it's suburban, right? It consists of mostly families, young professionals, good schools, and so many parks, lots of entertainment venues, and single family communities. To give you an idea, if you haven't looked at the map, where it is, we're actually about 90 minutes from the coast. About 90 minutes away is South Padre Island. And this whole location gives the county more opportunity because of its location to the border and all the commerce there. But we also have great weather. It's 80 degrees here today. And South Padre Island has sandy beaches, fishing, vacation rentals. As you see, the curve goes around and it has a little lip right there. So it protects South Padre Island. But when they do get it, by the time it comes inland, it dies out. So we get pretty stable weather around here. So here's our downtown. It's hard to get a full picture of it because, of course, there's the old courthouse, many huge office buildings. But our brand new courthouse just got finished 2 years ago, $180 million courthouse, 24 courtrooms, Court of Appeals. And in the lower picture is a picture of the newest rendering of the parking structure, which does not even come close to accommodating the need. There's 250 parking spaces in there. They need 500 more. So there's just so many jobs. And Edinburgh not only has its city infrastructure, but it's also the county seat, as I said. So it's city, county, it's borough government with all the municipalities that go with that. So University of Texas Rio Grande is rated number 1. Now it is, instead of being rated on prestige and wealth, it's public, right? So it's a reasonable place for people to go to school and they can get a full medical degree, law degree, engineering. The non-wealthy students can go here and succeed and thrive. And this is huge for our area because of the size of it and the professionals that it is pumping out. So that's what the companies need to feel comfortable coming here. And we'll go over more colleges later, but this is not the only one. So there's many education systems in place in Edinburgh and in the county. Now, usually this is a huge job fair with 50 diverse employers every year. Usually you're used to seeing these big job fairs in LA or Dallas, but the job employer growth here has been huge. So take the Central Valley, you have all this farmland. They don't process it right there, but there is the infrastructure in place with the cold storage and the processing plants right there in Hidalgo County. So it all happens right here. So it just gives more and more opportunity to jobs. Let's talk about the cost of living. On an average, it's 20% lower to live here than it is in a same size city across the US. So looking at the major components, groceries, housing, utilities, transportation, healthcare, everything's lower. And as you and I know, people move for that reason. That's a big deal. Edinburgh has partnered with retail strategies. I won't do that to you today. But what I wanted to highlight is the predictions from the various sources, governmental and this source, which say the whole county is expected to nearly double in the next 25 years. That is mind-blowing. So they're expecting it to go from 1.3 to 2.4 million people over the next 21 years. That's a growth margin of 25% every 5 years. So when that happens, where do the rents go? Where do prices go? Well, they go up, up. How can they help it? So the cities are planning this and they're very proactive. They are not behind the curve at all in getting their infrastructure ready for this active event. Here's one of Nico produce plants, just one of the examples of the produce that's expanding with more jobs, and there's so many. I wanted to elaborate on Edinburgh as you get a feel for the people. They are very active. Edinburgh's the hub of entertainment for all of Hidalgo County, from festivals to parades, hometown fairs, fun runs, carnivals, spring, summer, fall concerts in the various parks. People like to get out and about, and they offer that in spades. The average commute time, as we did research, is about 18 minutes. McAllen, being the largest city with the airport and the high-end mall and so much commerce as well as Edinburgh, it's only a 20-minute drive. So people, they work all over the place that live in Edinburgh. They're 10, 15 minutes from all kinds of major hospitals and medical. It has 23 parks and really nice parks. They have so much variety from hike and bike trails, splash parks, covered basketball and picnic areas, skate parks, a trampoline park. Many have ponds. They have concerts in their amphitheaters. And one of the really cool things is Edinburgh's a big birding area with wetlands and protected bird sanctuary, which might be surprising for some people. But it is the largest in Texas. Great place to go walking, bird watching. It's pretty large. It's right there at the top view of your screen. The newest park that they're building is right around from the new community we're going to show you today. It is a multi-million-dollar park with an array of recreation, splash area, covered basketball, picnic areas. And so,
Janet, when I watched these last few slides, my wife and I, we love walking outdoors, the parks and lakes. We love doing that for many years. And the activities you have, the amenities, like I like to run a lot. I'll run road races for 40 years. And I love those summer concert series, the free summer concert series in my area, in Bay Area. Every summer, I watch those free concerts, and I could see myself living.
yeah, there's always something to do, and you don't have to. There's the big venues, but you don't have to pay for that. You can go to the free stuff. It's wonderful. Number 2 is the most populated. It's the largest state, as we all know. We got lots and lots of land, the most populated. But in terms of surface area and total population, its economy is larger than the nation of Australia and South Korea. So it is a place to own rental property. It's also very landlord friendly and business friendly. And not all places are.
It's landlord friendly.
Very important. Yeah, it's very easy. So it's not like you'll never have an eviction, or we don't want to paint it so pretty that it's unrealistic, but it's $225 and it's 30 days. So it's quick and it's painless. With that growing population, this ensures the need for housing. And not all geographical areas in Texas are sharing the dramatic increase, as we've talked about here. It is the 5th fastest growing compared to the big 4, which they are so expensive to buy there. You just can't do the 1% rule in Dallas.
Janet, okay, over the years, I promoted all the emerging markets in Sunbelt markets, and especially in the South and Southeast, and Texas and Florida are no exception. But you and I know for the past 5 to 10 years, even for the past 3 years, the metros of Houston, Boston, Dallas, and San Antonio has grown by leaps and bounds, and the home prices have skyrocketed. So those big 4, like you said, in Texas, those it's very hard to get a good return. South Texas is the emerging market. You can make the argument that South Texas are slowly or competing against the big 4 of Texas. And like you said, prices here in South Texas, at least for right now, is very low relative to the big 4 in Dallas. So now you see the potential for growth for our investors to pull the trigger now before it's too late.
We were talking about reasons that people move, and we are getting snowbirds here as well. They come for part of the year because our climate is mild. It's the beginning of March and it's 80 degrees today. We don't really get snow. We get a little bit of frost in the winter, but we can have 80 degrees in the winter. And we get rain, not really snow. So the cost is low. We are attracting retirees. I've shown retirees 4plexes as they're moving here and living in a unit from Oregon, Wyoming, Dallas. And so people move for many reasons. Number 1 is money, right? Cost of living, taxes. Texas is a no tax state, and income tax wise, and jobs. That's number 1 reason. Number 2 is weather. They don't want to move to the middle of Minnesota if they're winding down, because you just don't want to drive in that. And then number 3 is safety. They want to feel safe. And as we went over before, McAllen is number 3 in the safest city in the U.S. And there's like 329 cities. So it has all those components. Edinburgh is home to 3 out of 5 of the huge hospital conglomerates. They are all expanding. One's expanding 45,000 square feet. Another one is 145,000 square feet with a whole new cancer and research hospital. Our doctor's hospital at Renaissance, or DHR, for instance, has 58 specialties under its umbrella with over 50 locations all over the county, from full hospitals like the Children's Hospital in Edinburgh and the Heart Hospital in Edinburgh, and cancer to imaging, physical therapy, internal medicine, urgent care, in vitro, you name it. You name it, it's here. And a lot of these are in Edinburgh. South Texas Health Systems, based in Edinburgh, is 5 hospitals, 6 ERs, 1 clinic. Also Cornerstone Regional, based in Edinburgh. So many jobs. One of our communities that is finished, I think I have 1 fourplex left there, so ask Seewing or me about that. I think I have 1 left. It's fully occupied, but 60% of our tenants in that development are from the medical industry. Because think about it, we might not have a cardiologist staying, although we do have a couple of doctors because they got a 3-bedroom and they are there for a year, but they don't know if they're going to be there longer, so they're not buying a house. But think of the nurses, lab technicians, radiologists, medical equipment specialists, IT, HVAC, food prep, dietitians. So there's so many different aspects to the medical industry that need housing.
Janet, not only that, what really intrigued me about this medical healthcare industry in South Texas is such that we can create another business opportunity for our investors. Once they buy acquire the fourplex, they can use one of the units or more to make it a mid-term rental, rent for 30 days or more to 90 days or more, less than a year. So those mid-term rental, which you and I talked about, which I presented on the previous videos, potentially before you furnish the unit, you can get 50% or higher in gross rent above and beyond the long-term annual lease type of tenants. Another value add for buying this particular market, because mid-term rental space cater to traveling nurses, healthcare professionals, a huge medical clinic, a space industry, and also colleges and universities in the area. They also supply this mid-term rental tenant pool. A lot of ways to make money in your market at this moment in there.
It's happening all over the place. So it's such a great option, especially when you have 4 units and you don't have to designate the whole thing. You can just do 1 unit.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep. Go ahead.
No problem. We're going to talk about where the new community is located, because location does matter. This gated community is just a short drive from downtown. And then all around it are coffee shops, supermarkets, wine bars, fine and casual dining, gyms, Lowe's, daycares, everything. It's an 1/8 of a mile off University Drive, which I'll show you. There's University Drive, and University of Texas Rio Grande, humongous campus, is 3 minutes away. It's a mile. We also have so many jobs at the university and have tenants that work at the university and live in our units, and college students. So you also have that as an option. And here's the Woodlands in the middle of highlighting all the schools that are around it. A lot of choices. And in Edinburgh, you can choose the schools that your kids are going to. We have idea schools, so look that up. They are incredible. Lots of charter schools, Christian schools, public schools, lots of choices. I was going to show you the many different campuses that are around. There's Satellite College for Texas A&M. There's many different campuses, and the University of Texas Rio Grande just got a U.S. Department of Health Administration grant to create 3 more education centers for their medical campus. So they are on the move. So here's Payne Arena. We showed you this before. Edinburgh address. Okay, so here's the venues, HEB Park, huge soccer complex, Edinburgh. So is Bert Ogden, $82 million Vipers basketball. These are all Edinburgh. So just showed this again to show that it's really hard to get good pictures of the freeway. That was when it was about the lightest, so we could slow down and get some pictures. But that $100 billion grant for all of Texas, we got just a huge portion of that. So they are spending that money. So one thing I don't usually talk about, because I'm not an appreciation girl. I am cash flow. When I was in California, if you could buy a property, Seewing, and just cover your payments, you were happy. If you could just make it break even, you were happy. Because why? Because the tenants are buying a property for you that you have for retirement, that you have depreciation, you have all the benefits. But then once I started buying other places, and especially here, we started cash flowing. How much better is that to have money at the end of the month? But we are seeing appreciation now. So I don't like to get out a crystal ball and estimate, but I have bought 5 fourplexes in the last 5 years. And I have anywhere from 50 to 150,000 in equity. So with the speed of growth, the chances are very good. Let's just say that there's going to be appreciation for your properties as well as rental increases. We first started 2018. We were renting a 3-bedroom for $900 a month. Now it's 13, 14. So still, I'm not going to make any predictions, but now we have that appreciation factor, which is a bonus as far as I'm concerned, because cash flow is king. That way, you know, you have a solid property. And here is the Woodlands. So proud to present the Woodlands. It is a premium product in a great location. It's a hop, skip, and a jump from the university, like we talked about, with restaurants and shopping chains, Walmart, HEB, Lowe's, Costco, everything's close, Starbucks. And so the units here, there's quite a demand for units. Now, when the whole complex is new, that may be the slowest time getting tenants, when there's a lot of things closing at once. They can talk to the property managers. Once things stabilize, then that is not the case. So to give you an idea, the fourplexes, you get a park right by them. I thought I'd get you some close-ups. So see that parking right there? You have covered parking. Everybody gets 2 spots. And you walk in, number one, that front door right there. Easy to bring your groceries in. Tenants love this. They're not marching upstairs. They're not sharing. They have easy access to their units. This is one of my just best builders. All my builders are great, but this one does the double recessed decorative ceilings and real high-end fixtures. His cabinets are custom. He has them custom made, so they're all wood and they're a little bit bigger than your average, and all stainless appliances. We do the porcelain ceramic floors, which are very durable. They all have a washer and dryer, and all this comes with your units. So you have all the appliances times 4. Those are closed in. See that beautiful ceiling? Just does a great job. Great coloring, really nice. The micro tiles, and they all have a backyard. As you can see, that's why tenants love to stay here. This is right on the edge of Edinburgh, and Seewing, this would be where you would go every morning for your run. This is like 200 acres of land, ponds, and it's called Tres Lagos. It has 3 gated home communities, which are big homes. And it also has entertainment, and there's food trucks there all the time. And it has winding running trails for miles. It's wonderful. Real close by the Woodlands. And the new park, the multi-million-dollar park, is a half mile from the Woodlands. So they say on an average, everyone that lives in Edinburgh is less than a mile away from a park. So those are all 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 4,200 square feet. So these 3 bedrooms are 1,050 each. They're large. Your 8 covered parking places. And I only have 4 of these, and they're $545,000. The projected rents are $5,400 a month. They get $1,350 a month. Now, sometimes it's $1,300 at different places, but this one is in a community where the landlord pays water. So that extra 50 pretty much covers that cost for your landlord. So these are going to be getting electricity in the next few days, and they'll be ready to lease.
Well, Janet, it's very rare to have a new fourplex, new construction that only costs $545K. You compare the apple-to-apple comparison anywhere in Texas, you find any kind of a multi-unit that costs around $500K. You're not getting a fourplex in other parts of Texas. You're getting a duplex. Get a 2 unit,
It's true.
right? You got a double the whammy. You got a 4 unit for the price of a duplex in Dallas or Houston, Austin, or San Antonio. So you get the bang for the buck. Furthermore, I know I may be ahead of myself when I say this, but when you buy a brand new property and good tenants, and you would argue these tenants are B plus to A minus tenants, and most likely you can stay longer than 1 year. So therefore, because you get a 1 year warranty, so this kind of property will last for a long time. And one of the concerns for many landlords over the years is that they buy a property where over time the maintenance and upkeep and vacancy will eat up all the profits. Not in this case, right?
No, everything's new. I have had some of my fourplexes for 5 years now, and I'm barely starting to. I think one had a washer go out in 1 unit, which we just popped a used one in there. That was $250. Plumbing's new, electric's new. It holds its maintenance very well.
Yeah, the long-term strategy for me, when any investors buy this kind of fourplex, is you behooves you to rent it long-term. How long? 10, 15, 20 years, forever. Keep this cash plow quality products ever. So we
Yep.
can,
Pay it off. Hang
yeah,
on.
yeah, pay it. You can have a tenant pay down your debts, your mortgages, everything else. You can increase your rent over time and just sit back, relax, and watch systematic, consistent appreciation going to occur. Very little maintenance and upkeep down the line, and then in the future, then you could pass on this great asset to your loved ones tax free.
I love that. It's back to you, Seewing. This is special education on the county.
My takeaway, Janet, from this is pure excitement because I've been doing this for a long time, right? I've been promoting out of state markets for 20 years. We go to different market. The key in your market is to get in front of growth.
Absolutely.
Get in front of the growth. What does that mean? Get in there before the mainstream media finds out about it. You get in there early, you get the lowest price point, you get the best deal right now because this market will explode, in my opinion. I don't know when, I don't know to what extent, but I've seen this kind of trends before over the years, all right? I see the emerging market in Florida and Texas and other parts of the US all the time. And your market have this unique fundamentals and trends, which is a blueprint for generational wealth building. Some of my investors, they're about to buy a second fourplex. My buyers have bought the fourplex, the first one recently, and they're about to buy another one because they are so confident in your product. They're willing to put in more money out of their capital, 25% down payment typically to finance a property, even with a relatively high mortgage rate, interest rate environment at whatever, 6.8, 7, 3.3%, 30 fixed rate mortgage. Our investors are still able to cash flow to the tune of like the 7% cap rate, almost 8% capitalization rate, and cash on cash in turn is like 10% or more. And the rent to value ratio is 1%. Where else in the country will you find a growing emerging market, brand new construction fourplex, you get a 1% rule. 1% rule means purchase price multiplied by 1% equals gross rent. In this case, the purchase price is $545K multiplied by 1% rent to value ratio. The gross rent is $5,400. It tells me these numbers based on this numeric metric alone provide tremendous amount of cash flow, right? So what an amazing product you have. And I'm not saying this to overhype your market. I see it, I feel it, I've done the numbers, I've done the research. Anything else that I'm saying?
No, I have never, and I've been in real estate for 25 years. I have never felt better about putting investors in properties right now because I see what's going on every day and I feel it with the ones that I bought. I put my money where my mouth is, right? But I feel so confident putting investors in, and that's what we want to do, right? Is get their money working for them in the best possible place that we can. And I sold in multiple states.
Oh, after Janet, let me say one more thing. Okay. I'm just giving you some transparency and my true honest feelings. It's just amazing. Like even with almost 7% mortgage rate buying right now, You date the interest rate, you marry the quant. Date the interest rate, you marry the fourplex. What I'm trying to say is, even if you pay 6.8, 7.3% fixed rate mortgage right now to buy this fourplex, you still cash flow at 25% down payment on the fourplex around $800 a monthly cash flow, $200 monthly cash flow per door, which is very well beyond the numeric metrics, any type of investment property. In this day and age, in this current, the past 3-4 year environment that in the housing market, you and I know across the board in the US is very hard to cash flow. The only way you can cash flow with 25% down payment, some people think you go to Midwest, buy this 100-year-old duplex for $100,000, and you make cash flow in those Midwest market. I'm not dishing the Midwest market by any means. Many people still buy in those Midwest blue collar market for cash flow. I get it. But why do that? We have the capital available. You can buy capital property and appreciation potential in your market for low price of $5.5K, full tax, high quality, and everything else. Plus, you could convert some of your units into medium-term rental, which I've been promoting quite a bit in your market. I have done other videos about midterm rental from a general perspective and from your market as well. So multiple streams of income with your fourplex, great diversification product. And investors, they have the money, they have the means, they have the down payment capital, they have credit, they have cash flow emergency to hold their properties long term. Just pull the trigger and work with the cash flow. You can always refinance. You can always refinance your mortgage in the future. Okay. You still cash flow $800 total per month net. Imagine 2 or 3 years later, we don't know when the mortgage rate will come down to a point where you can refinance. If you can refinance from a 7% right now to a 5.8% in the future, guess what? You can get more cash flow at that time. So you get the deal done now, right? Date the rate, you marry the house. Have you heard this concept before? I could spend all day long to give you the value of buying the market. I'm tooting my own horn.
No, not at all. I do have a few sixplexes. So if someone's interested in that, we do have to do a commercial loan on that one.
Mhm.
I actually have a credit union that does a rate under 7%. So that's an opportunity. Sixplexes cash flow really well. So just throwing that out there as that's not our main platform, but I do have a few of those to offer your clients.
Yeah. No surprise, Janet. I know the robust market in your area, you're going to have more products in the future, right? And you can provide some very good high quality inventories, but by now, when the competition is still fairly low, it's the best thing you can do, investors out there, because competition heats up and will heat up. Prediction of the housing market overall is that the mortgage rate is going to come down. Currently, is 7%, according to Mortgage News Daily. But what if the mortgage rate come down to 6.5% or 6.3%? Then what you're going to see some frenzy. You're going to see some bidding wars and housing frenzy all over the U.S. And you don't want to be part of this competition down the road. Get in now before while everybody else on the sideline doing nothing. That's how pull the trigger.
Yeah, how wonderful to have your property already purchased and just be ready to refinance than having to scrap. And the prices are going to go up as well. We know how it works.
Yep. The rent is going to go up. Prices will go up because your market, low inventory, high demand, job growth, population growth, diversified economy. Right? I mean,
Yeah, there's not just little signs. It's like it's screaming at you.
this data point, these trends, this economic matrix is screaming right in front of your face.
Yeah.
Well, this is factual information. Okay, this is people can do some third-party research all they want and validate what you and I just discussed in
Oh,
this
yeah.
presentation.
Please do.
Right?
Yes.
It's fact. It is a fact. And for those highly individuals that have the means to do so, it's not the many of you, which is very sad, right? So many people are being overwhelmed by the crash brooms out there that you see all kind of negative headlines out there. doom and gloom, the chicken little of the world, or the world coming to an end, and there's a crash of epic proportion. Those are nothing but fear points that has prevented a lot of people from achieving their wealth in real estate. So when you have the sophistication and education, follow my network, you get the real data, the real education, not the doom and gloom, making us feel porn out there that people will paralyzed with fear, so they do not take any action.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for listening to me, and look forward to seeing y'all in South Texas.
Thank you so much, Janet Clement from South Texas, and the Seewing Yee. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a nice day, everyone.